If you think the jaguar fights through brute force, chases its prey over long distances, or announces its presence with loud displays like a lion or a cheetah, then you may not know the jaguar as well as you think. Calm and striking in appearance, this predator does not waste its strength on unnecessary displays. The jaguar understands that not every challenge in the wild is won through power alone. Instead of relying on haste, noise, or open confrontation, it trusts patience, silence, and perfect timing. It carefully studies its surroundings, watches the movements of its prey, judges the distance, and remains alert to possible dangers. Then, it strikes when the chances of success are at their highest. Its true advantage lies not only in its muscular body or powerful jaws, but in its careful, calculated approach. One that allows it to create the best possible opportunities within dense forests, flooded wetlands, and along the water's edge. To see the jaguar as nothing more than a powerful predator would be to overlook the full range of its abilities. Its body is built for moving quietly through dense vegetation, while the dark rosettes across its coat help it blend into shifting patterns of light and shadow. Rather than chasing prey across long distances, the jaguar often moves in slowly, using tall grass, thick bushes, trees, and natural cover to conceal its approach. At times, it may wait patiently for long periods, because to the jaguar, choosing the right moment matters more than moving quickly. This combination of patience, caution, and the ability to recognize opportunity makes it a highly effective ambush predator. From the vast wetlands of Brazil's Pantanal to the dense rainforests of the Amazon and Central America, the jaguar has developed an extraordinary ability to survive in a wide range of environments. It can move silently across the ground, climb trees when necessary, and swim through water with confidence. But its greatest advantage is not simply that it is powerful in every environment. It is that it knows how to use each environment to its benefit. Riverbanks, dense vegetation, flooded pathways, and the deep shadows of the forest are more than places where it lives. They are essential resources for hunting, protection, and survival. This remarkable adaptability is one of the reasons the jaguar is considered among the most skilled, powerful, and versatile predators in the Americas. The story of the jaguar does not begin in the forests of today's Amazon, the Pantanal, or Central America. Its roots stretch back through a long evolutionary journey spanning millions of years, a journey shaped by changing climates, shifting continents, and constantly transforming environments. Scientific evidence places the jaguar within the evolutionary lineage of the genus Panthera, the same group that includes lions, leopards, and snow leopards. Yet scientists are still piecing together the evidence to understand exactly when and where the jaguar emerged as its own distinct species. What is clear is that its ancient relatives originated in the Old World, particularly in parts of Asia, while some ancestral groups later reached North America. During different periods of the Ice Age, sea levels were much lower than they are today. This exposed a vast region of land known as Beringia, connecting Asia and North America. Many animals moved between the two continents across this ancient land bridge. The jaguar's early ancestral groups may also have reached North America as part of this long biological expansion, before their descendants gradually spread into Central and South America. This was not a single migration that happened all at once, nor did one species simply travel the entire route in a direct journey. Instead, it was a gradual expansion that unfolded across countless generations. In every new region, changing climates, different prey, and unfamiliar environments influence the physical traits and lifestyles of these animals. Over time, the jaguar's lineage became increasingly successful in environments rich in dense forests, wetlands, rivers, and diverse prey. Evolution is not a conscious process or a deliberate choice. Individuals with physical traits better suited to their surroundings are more likely to survive and pass those traits on to future generations. Through this long process of natural selection, the jaguar developed a strong, compact, and muscular body, well suited for moving through dense vegetation, attacking from close range, and overpowering relatively large or powerful prey. Its size has changed over time, and some ancient jaguars that lived during the Ice Age were larger than many jaguars alive today. However, it would not be accurate to say that its body became smaller specifically to help it move more easily through water. The jaguar's modern form is the result of millions of years of natural selection and gradual adaptation to a wide range of environmental conditions. The jaguar of today is a living reflection of this long evolutionary history. Its powerful build, strong jaws, ability to hunt from concealment, and close association with water are not the result of a single evolutionary change. They are the product of countless generations shaped by the forces of evolution. Together, these traits make the jaguar a highly effective predator across many ecosystems in Central and South America, where its presence also plays an important role in maintaining the natural balance of wildlife. Because jaguars vary noticeably in size and appearance across different regions, scientists once believed that several distinct subspecies might exist. Jaguars living in parts of Mexico and Central America, for example, are often smaller and lighter, while males from Brazil's Pantanal and some other regions of South America tend to be larger, heavier, and more powerfully built. However, modern genetic research has found no strong scientific basis for dividing today's jaguar populations into separate, officially recognized subspecies. For this reason, the jaguar is now generally regarded as a single species, Panthera onca. Differences in size and physical appearance should not be explained by diet alone. Local environmental conditions, prey availability, the geographic distribution of populations, and genetic diversity may all play a role. The black panther is not a separate species, subspecies, or breed. The name is commonly used for a jaguar whose coat appears unusually dark or nearly black. This coloration is caused by a genetic trait known as melanism, which results in a greater expression of melanin, the pigment responsible for dark coloration in the coat. From a distance, the animal may appear completely black, but under the right lighting, the distinctive ring-shaped markings known as rosettes can still be visible beneath the dark coat. In other words, despite its unusual coloration, its basic identity and physical structure remain those of a typical jaguar. A jaguar's rosettes are generally larger and more complex than a leopard's, and they often contain small black spots within them. A closer look at the jaguar's body reveals that it is built more for power, grip, and close-range attacks than for long, high-speed pursuits. Its body is relatively compact, with a broad chest, a powerful neck, and strong legs. Its head also appears large and robust in proportion to its body, while the muscles around its shoulders and forequarters help it control and drag prey. This physical design sets the jaguar apart from predators adapted to chasing animals across open landscapes. Rather than relying on long-distance speed, it usually tries to approach its prey from behind dense vegetation, trees, or other natural cover. For the jaguar, getting close enough before the attack is often more important than moving at maximum speed. One of the jaguar's most remarkable physical features is its powerful jaw. Relative to its body size, its bite is considered exceptionally strong among the big cats. Its sturdy jaws and strong teeth help it target animals with tough body structures, which is one reason turtles and other hard-shelled or heavily protected animals may be included in its diet in certain regions. However, it would be inaccurate to suggest that every prey animal is killed in the same way. Depending on the species, size, condition of the prey, and the circumstances of the attack, the jaguar may use different hunting techniques. Unlike many other predators, the jaguar sometimes delivers a powerful bite to the skull or the back of the head. Its long canine teeth and strong jaws are capable of damaging the skull bones of certain animals, and this behavior is often associated with the jaguar's distinctive hunting strategy. But it is not accurate to claim that every attack breaks the prey's skull or that death occurs within a fraction of a second. In reality, the outcome depends on the prey's size, its resistance, and the exact location of the bite. In some situations, the jaguar may also seize the neck or throat to bring its prey under control. Its true advantage does not lie in a single fatal strike, but in the combined power of its muscular body, strong jaws, effective grip, and ability to adapt its hunting technique to the situation. The jaguar's strength is not limited to its muscles or jaws. Successful hunting in a dense forest requires sharp senses, patience, and the ability to understand changing conditions. The jaguar's true advantage lies in the combination of these qualities. Its eyes contain a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum, which helps make better use of the available light by reflecting it back through the eye. This allows the jaguar to see its surroundings more effectively than humans in the dim light of dusk, at night, or beneath the dense canopy of the forest. However, the claim that a jaguar sees exactly 6 times more clearly than a human under all conditions is too precise and is not supported by strong scientific evidence. Its hearing is also highly sensitive, while the long whiskers around its face provide important information about nearby objects and narrow spaces. These whiskers are far more than ordinary hairs. They are sensitive structures connected to the nervous system, helping the jaguar detect obstacles, vegetation, and movement around its face, especially in darkness. The jaguar combines sound, scent, and visual information to build a detailed picture of its surroundings. While searching for prey, it does not rely on a single sense. It may also gather clues from the direction of the wind, tracks on the ground, movement in the vegetation, and the sounds made by potential prey. This careful approach allows it to avoid rushing and wait for the right opportunity. When it comes to the jaguar's intelligence, there is no reliable scientific evidence that it deliberately moves its tail through the water to create ripples resembling falling fruit and trick fish into rising to the surface. Although the idea is intriguing, it remains unsupported. What is well established, however, is that jaguars do not avoid water. In some regions, they hunt near rivers, lakes, and wetland shores. They are strong swimmers and may eat fish, turtles, and other aquatic animals when the opportunity arises. In places such as the Pantanal, water-associated animals can form an important part of their diet, but the jaguar's hunting strategy usually changes according to the environment, the prey available, and local conditions. Along the water's edge, the jaguar may encounter animals that are powerful predators themselves. Caimans and anacondas are among them, but it would be misleading to describe them as the jaguar's permanent or mortal enemies. These animals do not fight one another every day. More often, they share the same ecosystem while avoiding each other, competing for food, or interacting only when circumstances bring them together. In some regions, jaguars do hunt caimans, and this behavior has been documented through scientific observation. However, the caiman species and size are important. Smaller or medium-sized caimans may be more accessible prey, while confronting a very large adult black caiman can be extremely dangerous. When hunting a caiman, the jaguar usually looks for an advantageous opportunity, especially when the animal is out of the water or not fully prepared to defend itself. The jaguar may approach silently and attempt to establish a powerful grip. In some observations, its strong teeth have been seen targeting the head or neck, but it is not accurate to say that a jaguar always attacks through a specific blind spot or that it kills every caiman by biting through the spine near the neck. Hunting in the wild does not follow a fixed combat strategy. The outcome of each encounter depends on the prey's size and condition, the location, and the reactions of both animals. Anacondas may also become part of the jaguar's diet, and observations from some regions have documented jaguars hunting or feeding on them. But not every anaconda is easy prey. A large, powerful snake can also pose a serious danger to a jaguar if it attacks under favorable conditions, particularly in the water, where the anaconda may have a greater advantage. For this reason, the relationship between these two animals should not be portrayed as a constant battle or a one-sided contest of strength. The jaguar's success does not come from fighting every dangerous animal it encounters. Its greatest advantage is its ability to recognize the difference between risk and opportunity, avoid unnecessary conflict, and use its strength when the conditions are in its favor. Jaguars spend most of their lives alone, but this pattern changes temporarily during the breeding season. When a female is ready to mate, she may communicate her presence and reproductive condition through a combination of vocalizations and scent signals. She leaves scent marks on trees, vegetation, or the ground, while males also use scent marking and claw scratches to signal their presence within their territories. These clues help males and females locate one another, and in some cases, more than one male may be drawn to the same female. Competition or conflict can occur between males, but it does not always lead to a direct fight. During mating, a male and female may remain together for several days, but their relationship is not permanent. After mating, the male usually takes no part in raising the female or caring for the cubs that may follow. He returns to his territory and solitary way of life, while the full responsibility for pregnancy, birth, and raising the young falls to the female. Jaguars do not normally live in permanent family groups, so the mother must provide for her cubs, protect them, and prepare them for life in the wild on her own. However, this does not mean that jaguars have no social relationships. Males and females may spend time together during the breeding period, while a mother and her cubs can share a close and lasting bond for many months, sometimes for nearly 2 years. The pregnancy usually lasts about 93 to 105 days. As the time of birth approaches, the female searches for a secure place where her cubs can remain hidden and protected. This shelter may be found within dense vegetation, a rocky crevice, a cave, a hollow tree, or another secluded refuge. A female may give birth to 1 to 4 cubs, although 1 or 2 are more common. At birth, the cubs' eyes are closed, and they depend entirely on their mother. They cannot hunt for themselves or protect themselves from danger. Their weight is usually around or below 1 kilogram, and their soft, relatively dense fur helps them retain body heat during the earliest stage of life. After the cubs are born, the female's life becomes a balance of new responsibilities. She must continue hunting to feed herself while also keeping her young hidden and safe. During the first few weeks, she rarely leaves them alone for long, but as the cubs grow, she must spend more time away while searching for food. During these periods, the cubs may face threats from other predators, disease, hunger, and, in some cases, other jaguars. Male jaguars have been known to pose a risk to young in some large predatory species, but it would be inaccurate to treat this as a constant threat in every region or to every mother and her cubs. The female usually chooses a location where her young are difficult to detect, and if she senses that the den is no longer safe, she may move them to another secure shelter. As time passes, these helpless cubs begin to understand the forest by following their mother. At first, they simply walk behind her. Then, they watch how prey moves and gradually learn how to travel quietly through their environment. The mother does more than provide food, she becomes their first teacher in the wild. Through this long period of learning, the cubs develop the skills they will need to one day leave their mother, find territories of their own, and survive as solitary adults. When jaguar cubs reach around 6 months of age, they enter an important new stage of life. They are no longer helpless young that remain constantly beside their mother. Gradually, they begin to understand the world around them. The female leads them through dense vegetation, along forest trails, and toward the edges of rivers and wetlands, where they closely observe her movements and follow behind. They begin learning how to move quietly through thick cover, which places offer the safest hiding spots, and how to avoid unnecessary movement when approaching potential prey. This training is not delivered like a formal lesson. The cubs learn mainly by watching their mother, copying her behavior, and gaining experience through repeated attempts. As their bodies grow larger and stronger, their play becomes more active. They chase one another, hide, pounce, and practice grabbing with their paws. At first glance, these activities may seem like nothing more than play, but they help develop balance, coordination, reaction speed, grip, and the basic skills needed for hunting. Later, by remaining close to their mother during hunts, the cubs begin to understand how prey is located, how a predator approaches without being detected, and when the right moment to attack has arrived. They do not succeed every time. In the early stages, many of their attempts end in failure, but those failures give them valuable experience with distance, speed, timing, and the challenges of hunting in the wild. A female usually remains with her cubs for about 1.5 to 2 years, although this period can vary depending on the region and local conditions. During that time, the young gradually become more independent and improve their ability to find food on their own. They may observe their mother interacting with different animals, but it would be inaccurate to claim that every cub regularly watches encounters with caimans or anacondas in order to overcome fear. A jaguar's survival depends not on unnecessary fights, but on caution, experience, and the ability to recognize danger. A successful predator is not one that challenges every animal it encounters. It is one that knows when to move closer, when to wait, and when it is wiser to stay away. When young jaguars become capable of living independently, their bond with their mother gradually begins to change. In some cases, the female may become less tolerant or more distant, especially as she enters another breeding cycle. But this does not necessarily mean that she suddenly drives her cubs away. The young jaguars also begin spending more time alone and eventually leave their mother's territory in search of suitable places of their own. Males often travel farther than females, while young females may sometimes remain relatively close to the areas where they were born. This is one of the most difficult stages of their lives. They must find food, move through safe routes, and locate territory where the risk of serious conflict with established adult jaguars is lower. Young jaguars that survive this stage and successfully establish suitable territories go on to play an important role in their ecosystems. As an apex predator, the jaguar can influence the populations and behavior of the animals it hunts. These effects may extend throughout the wider ecosystem. However, it would be an oversimplification to say that jaguars maintain forest vegetation simply by reducing the number of herbivores. Natural balance is shaped by a complex network of animals, plants, seasonal changes, and ecological relationships, and the jaguar is an important part of that larger system. Today, however, the jaguar's greatest threat does not come from another predator. It comes from human activity. Deforestation, agricultural expansion, road construction, and the growth of human settlements have divided its natural habitat into smaller, isolated areas. When connections between forests are lost, it becomes more difficult for jaguars to reach food, find mates, and move into new territories. In some regions, conflict with people also increases after jaguars prey on livestock. Illegal hunting and declines in the availability of natural prey create additional threats. The future of the jaguar depends not only on how many individuals remain inside protected areas, but also on whether safe routes and natural connections between forests can be maintained. When large connected habitats remain protected, jaguar populations can continue moving between regions and preserve genetic diversity. For this reason, protecting the jaguar is not simply an effort to save one animal. It is also a way of protecting the forests, rivers, and countless other species connected to its survival. If this predator continues to disappear from its historic range, the consequences may reach far beyond a single species, affecting the structure, stability, and balance of entire ecosystems. The jaguar, the solitary ruler of the Amazon's silent forests, is one of evolution's most powerful predators. If it were placed against some of nature's most dangerous animals, the battle for survival would be intense. In its own waterways, it may face giant anacondas and heavily armored caimans. The jaguar's strength, agility, and powerful jaws can give it an advantage, especially when it attacks from close range. However, the outcome depends on the size of the animals and the conditions of the encounter. The comparison becomes even more fascinating when we imagine a jaguar facing an African lion. In the open savanna, the lion's larger size and heavier build would likely give it the advantage. But deep within the Amazon's dense forests and dark shadows, the jaguar's stealth, agility, and ability to launch a sudden ambush could make the encounter far more unpredictable. Still, no one can say with certainty which animal would win, because such a confrontation has never been observed in the wild. The African honey badger is famous for its fearless nature, loose skin, and fierce defenses, but despite its courage, it is far smaller than a jaguar and could be at a serious disadvantage in a direct encounter. Even so, the jaguar is not an unstoppable champion that defeats every animal with a single bite. Its real strength lies in the combination of powerful jaws, a muscular body, silent movement, patience, and the ability to use its environment to its advantage. Every part of the jaguar's life reveals an important truth. In the wild, strength is not defined by physical power alone. Patience, intelligence, perfect timing, and the ability to adapt are just as essential for survival. Its silent movement, powerful body, and unique hunting style make it one of nature's most fascinating predators. We hope this journey through the life of the jaguar has not only entertained you, but also helped you understand this mysterious animal in a deeper and more meaningful way. If you enjoyed this documentary, be sure to explore more of our wildlife documentaries, where you can discover the lives, behaviors, and remarkable stories of animals from around the world. Don't forget to like and share this video, and subscribe to the channel for more high-quality and informative documentaries. Thanks so much for watching and supporting the channel.